morning, dear hearts. We have made it to lesson 265, so think about that for just a moment, because that means there's only 100 days in this year left, and there's only 100 lessons left, and actually less because the last lesson is repeated for 5 days. Spoiler alert, perhaps. But not for those of you who have already done this at least once. So look how far we've come. So today's lesson is creation's gentleness is all I see. Creation, God's gentleness. God is our creator. So it is his gentleness extended is all I see. And the lesson says, and it starts with the text portion, I have indeed misunderstood the world because I laid my sins on it and saw them looking back at me. Now we know that sin is insanity, that sin is the illusion. What I have done is I've taken my illusions, my misthoughts, my misperceptions, and I projected them onto everything that I see as the world. And so obviously I have to misunderstand it because the world I see holds nothing that I want, but the world I see is looking back at me through these slimy eyes, like the skin of the onion. You know, it's not clear, it's not real, it's all illusion. It's filled with fear and longing and anger and angst. So obviously I would have to misunderstand what the world I see is because I'm seeing it through body eyes that do not see well and do not see the truth. How fierce they seemed, this world that's looking back at me, how fierce. And how deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind alone. Marianne Williamson speaks of this, like, the scariest place for these thoughts to be, what I see. It's not out there, it's in here. This is the scariest place there is, because when I hold on to misthoughts, when I hold on to illusions and the insanity and belief in sin, this is the scariest place there could ever be, because I have to be willing to open my mind to allow those thoughts to fly free and away from me so that I can instead look at things with creation's gentleness, the celestial view of this world. Today I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. God is light. We are light. I am the light of the world. And that light shines upon the real world. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. That is the world that creation's gentleness and the celestial light will shine upon. There is no fear in it. There couldn't be, because there's truth in it. And fear and truth do not coexist, nor does fear and love. Let no appearance of my sins obscure the light of heaven shining on the world. What is reflected there is in God's mind. The images I see reflect my thoughts. Yet is my mind at one with God's, and so I can perceive creation's gentleness, which we're in our relevant thought of what is the body. And what we were told, and again, reread it every day, is that when we turn the body over to the Holy Spirit, now it will have a new and different purpose. We can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think it is for. It is not for separation. It is for healing. The purpose now is for the healing of God's Son's mind. The child will heal her mind, and with it, healing of the world occurs, and healing of every brother, healing of every living thing, healing of the beliefs in separation and death and longing and loneliness. All of this is healed when I allow my mind and my body to be used by the Holy Spirit for true and real and loving purposes. The second part of the lesson in the italics, the prayer says, "In quiet would I look upon the world, which but reflects your thoughts and mine as well. Let me remember that they are the same, and I will see creation's gentleness." Now remember, as we closed out our previous section of the special thought, we had our let me remember lessons. Let me remember what my purpose is. Let me remember that my goal is God. Let me remember that there is no sin. And let me remember God created me. So this is another opportunity to remember that what I see is the reflection of what's going on in my mind. And in truth, let me remember that God created me. So what is really, truthfully in my mind are all of the thoughts that God has placed within it, and nothing else, when I remember. And that's it for today. I hope it helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. Please comment, please pray. Please be here tomorrow. Another wonderful lesson in this section. I hope you don't get tired of me saying that, because it's really so very true, in my humble opinion. So have a beautiful day. Namaste.